I owned an Apple Watch for over 2 years before I learned that you should never actually charge it overnight, because you should be wearing it while you're sleeping. Hey guys, my name is Reagan Rose. I am the creator of Redeeming Productivity, and I am trying to glorify God while getting more done. And I want to help you do the same. A really often overlooked thing with productivity is your sleep. The quality and the quantity of the sleep you get each night directly impacts the quality of the day that you have. And so sleep is super important. So let me show you 3 great features on the Apple Watch that will make you want to wear it while you're sleeping instead of charging it overnight. Watch OS version 7 came out in September of 2020. And it had a lot of neat new features that it added, but one of the features it added was the ability to track sleep. So there's actually a whole new app on your watch called Sleep. And the first feature I want to talk about in this Sleep app is the bedtime routines. Now, if this sounds familiar, it's actually been available for a while on your iPhone. And even if you're watching this and you don't have an Apple Watch, you can do some of these things using your iPhone. It's just a lot better with the watch, and I'll explain as we get into it. One of the best things you can do for the quality of your sleep is to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. But it's kind of hard to remember, especially if you're in the middle of a good show or a good book or something. You might not go to bed at the time you plan to, and then your alarm might wake you up, but you're tired because you didn't actually get the right amount of sleep the night before. So one of the cool features on the Apple Watch and also on the iPhone is this bedtime thing. You can set a sleep goal, so you can say in there, I want to get 7 hours of sleep each night. Then you can set your time you want to go to sleep and the time you want to wake up in there. And what the bedtime app does is it will tell you when to go to sleep. It'll actually give you a reminder, hey, you should start going to sleep now, little guy, it's bedtime. And it'll make sure that you don't stay up past when you plan to go to sleep, which is like a simple feature, but if you think about it, it's pretty unique. How many of us set an alarm to go to bed? We're used to setting an alarm so that we wake up in the morning, but you really do, if you want to have consistent sleep, you kind of need an alarm to tell you when to sleep. And this is a great way to do it, is have the watch track it for you and remind you when it's bedtime. And now if this was all the sleep app did, that would be kind of cool, but you could just do this with alarms. But the really cool stuff is actually what comes next. The second reason you should never charge your Apple Watch overnight is sleep tracking. This was one of the great things that was introduced in Watch OS 7, and that is that the watch can actually track your sleep. It can detect your movement while you're in bed and know if you're kind of laying still, if it thinks you're sleeping, what your heart rate is, all of that stuff. And so you can get a history and stats on how well you slept. And when that integrates with the bedtime routine thing, like I mentioned in the first point, then you have a history of, did you go to bed on time? Did you wake up on time? Did you wake up early? How was the quality of that sleep? And you can actually go back through and look at the history of that and make adjustment in your routine if you're finding that you're not getting the quality or the quantity of sleep that you know you should have. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, please go ahead and hit the like button down there. That helps other people find the video, and it also gives me some warm fuzzies. And you want to give me warm fuzzies, right? And the third reason you should never charge your Apple Watch overnight is the silent alarm. So I sleep in the same bed as my wife because we're married. And we also have a newborn in the room with us right now. And here's the problem. I wake up way before those guys do. So in the mornings, when my alarm goes off, it wakes everybody up. And that's no bueno, especially if you have a newborn in the room with you. So what can I do about it? Well, I discovered this quite by accident, is on the Apple Watch in the sleep function. If you do this bedtime routine thing and you wear the watch while you're sleeping, instead of making a loud alarm to wake you up, it does like the, I don't know what you call it, the haptic feedback thing where it goes tap, 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 and it wakes you up. Just like your mother used to, and taps you on the shoulder. It's time for school, Billy. And I love that because it's a way better way to wake up than that huge jolt of adrenaline when like the siren on your phone goes off and you think you're about to die. I hate waking up with an alarm, by the way, but it's way more peaceful actually. And it's actually kind of nice way to wake up when it's just this tap, 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 tap. And so it's totally silent. You don't wake anybody else up in the room, and you can kind of tiptoe out of there in a much nicer way. So those are the 3 features that should stop you from charging your Apple Watch at night, but instead wearing it. Now, before you go, let me give you just a couple of notes about this, just FYIs. The first one is you got to make sure that your battery on your watch has at least 30% before you go to sleep at night. Otherwise, it's going to say, hey, you need to charge this thing before you use it. So that's the first thing to note. The second, you might be wondering, well, if I charge my watch at night normally and now I'm wearing it, when will I have time to charge it? I mean, you'll have to figure this out for yourself. But for me, I charge it before bed. So usually we're watching TV or reading or something in the evenings, and I'm not really tracking my activity anymore on the watch because I'm, not moving. So that's when I'll go put it on the charger, and it only takes, I don't know, an hour or two for it to charge up fully. And it doesn't take a lot of battery during the night while it's tracking your sleep. So when you wake up, it'll make it all the way through the day and the night with only one charge. The other great side benefit of using the Apple Watch to wake you up in the morning is something I mentioned in a previous video, which I'll link to here. The worst thing you can do for your productivity is scroll your phone in the morning. 80% of people, the first thing they do when they wake up is they start scrolling their phone. It's hard not to when your phone is your alarm. So one of the things about making your watch your alarm instead of your phone is it means you can charge your phone in another room. So you're not scrolling it in the morning and kind of getting stressed out or getting distracted from what you need to do that day. And also it saves you from scrolling at night before bed, which has also been shown to be detrimental to good sleep quality, looking at a screen right before bed. By the way, if you are a Christian who is looking to develop a more consistent morning routine, I've actually put together a free morning routine planner over on my website. If you go to redeemingproductivity.com/morning, you can download this and it'll walk you through setting up your bedtime and evening routines and how to actually plan your day so that you can get better time in the Word of God, more time for prayer, and just a clearer head for starting your day. That's totally free. Just go to redeemingproductivity.com/morning. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.